When God tell you to do something, he put it in your spirit. You better listen to him, because if you do not listen to him, you're going to sacrifice something. It's going to be another thing on your list, because you already got things where you like, dang, if I would have just listened to God, if I would have just paid attention to what God was showing me, looking at the warning, if I would have took heed to the warning that God gave me, I wouldn't have ended up here. What's up, y'all? This your girl, Bossalini Neat, back at you again from Ambitious Hustlers Pod. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So I'm always studying and reading my word, and I wanted to share this with you guys. Pretty much, obedience is better than sacrifice. Today I'm going to be coming from 1 Kings 13, 1 to 34. Now behold, there came a man of God from Judah to Bethel by the word of the Lord, while Jeroboam was standing by the altar which he had built to burn incense. The man cried out against the adulterous altar by the word of the Lord, O altar, altar, thus said the Lord, behold, a son shall be born to the house of David, Josiah by name, and on you shall he sacrifice the bodies of the priests of the high places who burn incense on you. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, this is the sign which the Lord has spoken. Behold, the altar shall be split apart, and the ashes that are on it shall be poured out. When the king heard the words which the man of God cried out against the altar in Bethel, Jeroboam put out his hand from the altar, saying, seize him. And his hand which he had put out against him withered, so that he was unable to pull it back to himself. The altar also was split apart, and the ashes were poured out from the altar in accordance with the sign which the man of God had given by word of the Lord. The king answered and said to the man of God, please entreat the Lord your God and pray for me, that my hand may be restored to me. So the man of God entreated the Lord, and the king's hand was restored to him and became as it was before. And the king said to the man of God, come home with me and refresh yourself, and I will give you a reward. But the man of God said to the king, even if you were to give me half your house, I would not go with you, nor would I eat bread or drink water in this place. For I was commanded by the word of the Lord, you shall not eat bread or drink water, nor shall you return by the way you came. So he went another way and did not return by the way that he came to Bethel. Now, before we even move forward to the next part of this, God sent the prophet to Jeroboam, with a word. He came to Jeroboam. He told Jeroboam what was to come. So pretty much Jeroboam's reign in Israel is coming to an end because of his disobedience against God. If you read further, like before this part, which is 1 Kings chapter 13 and 1, and I just went with you all the way from 1 to 10. If you read before this, it's chapters before this chapter where you will see where Jeroboam had created 2 golden calves, so that the people of Israel could worship to it, which made God angry. So that's it. God sent the prophet to him to tell him his future, what's going to come to pass. The prophet did his part up until this point. And the reason why I titled this Obedience is Better Than Sacrifice, because up until this point right here, the prophet was obedient. But we're going to continue on. So this is 1 Kings 13 and 11 now. Now there was an old prophet living in Bethel, and his sons came and told him everything that the man of God had done that day in Bethel. They also told their father the words which he had spoken to the king. Their father asked him, which way did he go? For his sons had seen which way the man of God who came from Judah had gone. And he said to his sons, saddle the donkey for me. So they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode away on it. And he went after the man of God, and he found him sitting under an oak tree. And he said to him, are you the man of God who came from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said to him, come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I cannot return with you, nor go in with you, nor will I eat bread or drink water with you in this place. For I was told by the word of the Lord, you shall not eat bread nor drink water there, nor shall you return by going the way that you came. He answered him, I too am a prophet. And I'm like, when I read right here, I'm like, this prophet was doing so well, y'all. It's like, you know what God told you to do. And so many of us make this mistake right here. We know what God told us to do, and then we'll tell somebody else what God told us to do. And a lot of times we be thinking they're going to support us, but they coming to pull you away. You can't trust nobody. I live by that. I deal with people day by day. I trust God with all my heart and all my soul, all my mind. But people, I deal with you day by day. I don't care who you are. That's just what it is. But anyway, the prophet answered him, I too am a prophet, as you are. And an angel spoke to me by word of the Lord, saying, bring him back with you to your house so that he may eat bread and drink water. So my problem right here, y'all, is he claiming an angel told him this. This man that went looking for this prophet that spoke to Jeroboam. You claiming the angel of the Lord told you this. My biggest thing, I don't care how many scriptures you read, how many places you preached that. If God didn't tell me, then I don't believe it. God is not going to ever tell somebody something and not tell you as well. He don't operate like that. He will tell you. He will tell you, man. God told this man what to do, this prophet. He did what he was supposed to do. But here comes someone that's being deceitful. I wanted to share this with you guys because it really disturbed me. Like, it turned me off, because this is how people are. You be doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing out here, and here come the distraction. So, yeah, back to, here you go. I too am a prophet, as you are, and an angel spoke to me by word of the Lord, saying, bring him back with you to your house so that he may eat bread and drink water. Why would God go back on his word? God told him not to go back there, not to even eat or drink water there, and not to go back the way he came. Why would God go back on his word? Why would he do that? Come on, man. But he lied to him. So the man of God went back with him and ate bread in his house and drank water. Now it happened as they were sitting at the table that the word of the Lord came to the prophet who had brought him back. And he cried out to the man of God who had come from Judah. Thus said the Lord, because you have disobeyed the word of the Lord and have not kept the commandment which the Lord your God commanded you, but have come back and have eaten bread and drunk water in the place of which the Lord said to you, you shall not eat bread nor drink water, your body shall not come to the tomb of your fathers. After the prophet of the house had eaten bread and after he had drunk, he saddled the donkey for the prophet whom he had brought back. Now when he had gone, a lion met him by the road and killed him, and his body was thrown in the road with the donkey standing beside it. The lion was also standing beside the body. And there were men passing by, and they saw the body thrown in the road and the lion standing beside the body. So they came and told about it in the city of Bethel, where the old prophet lived. When the prophet who had brought him back from the road heard about it, he said, it is the man of God who was disobedient to the word of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord has given him to the lion, which has torn him and killed him in accordance with the word of the Lord, which he spoke to him. And he said to his son, saddle the donkey for me. And they saddled it. And he went and found the body thrown on the road, and the donkey and the lion standing beside the body. The lion had not eaten the body or attacked the donkey. Then the prophet picked up the body of the man of God and laid it on the donkey and brought it back. And he came into the city Bethel of the old prophet to mourn and to bury him. And he laid the body in his own grave, and they mourned over him, saying, alas, my brother. Then after he had buried him, he said to his sons, when I am dead, bury me in the grave in which the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. For the words which he cried out by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel and against all the house of the high places which are in the cities of Samaria shall certainly come to pass. Y'all was so annoyed when I read this. Like, I was so annoyed when I read this. I had to come and share this with you guys because it reminded me of fake people. This man lied to this man and told him that the angel of the Lord told him to come back. Why would any angel of the Lord go against the word of God? If God told you to do something, why would somebody come behind God and tell you something different? Why? This man lost his life, and that's why I titled this Obedience is Better Than Sacrifice. Every time we disobey God, we sacrifice something. How many times think to yourself, if you're watching this video, think to yourself, one time where you heard it in your spirit, you know it wasn't you, this is from the Lord, where he told you something, and you went against it, and you lived to reap the consequence. You like, Dad, I know I wasn't supposed to do that. Something told me. No, the Lord told you not to do that. Told you not to go over there, not to deal with that man, not to deal with that woman. And yet you still did it. Obedience is better than sacrifice. We cannot believe everything anybody say to us. You can't believe just because a person said God said don't mean nothing. This man lied to him and said that he didn't even say God said. So that told me that he had some kind of sense, this prophet. He said the angel of the Lord told him to tell him he could come back to his place and eat bread and drink water. I don't know what made this prophet go back to the same place where the Lord told him not to go back to, and not to eat or drink there. I don't know what was on his mind. All he had to do was continue on his journey. He did stop and was under a tree because that's where this prophet found him. But all he had to do was continue going forward. How many times in our lives have we went against what God told us? We did what we wanted to do. I can't even count how many times I've did it. And I'm so tired of me in that way. That's exactly where I am right now in my life. It's your way, Lord. Whatever you show me, that's what it is. Because every time I do what I want to do, every time I do what Nick want to do, it's always a consequence. It's either something that pushed me back a few months or years. I realized that. Obedience is better than sacrifice. We can even look at people before Jeroboam. Look at Solomon. That's how Jeroboam even became king over Israel, because of Solomon's disobedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice, y'all. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I never really thought so much on it until I really started going through it. That's why I said take this time to really think about a time where the Lord gave you specific instruction. It was set right in your spirit. You were thinking about doing something, and it said right in your spirit not to do something or to do it a different way or whatever it may have been. And you went against that. This man lost his life. He sacrificed his life. That's what he did. He went against God and sacrificed his life because of what somebody said. That's how easy it is for a lot of us. We open our mouth. See, this prophet opened his mouth and he told the guy he couldn't eat or drink back there. And the guy turned around and used that against him and said the angel of the Lord said that he could come back with him. If God did not tell you, not your own mind, if God did not tell you, don't believe him. Obedience is better than sacrifice, y'all. So I did definitely, I took down a few notes, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. So many people will come to you and say, God told you. If God did not tell you, continue on whatever he told you. I don't care what it was. Continue on whatever he told you, because every time we disobey God, we sacrifice something. And it may seem like, oh, dang, you go back, Lord, please forgive me for not listening to you after you showed me. Forgive me for going against your word after you have instilled it in me and given me a right mind. But you still sacrifice something. A lot of times we don't see it instantly. The prophet got up from this man's house after he ate and drank water. Went back. So he did everything God told him not to do. God told him not to go back the way he came. So he went back the way he came. Not to eat, he ate, and not to drink anything. He ate and he drank, and he went back the way he came. So when he left, he died. A lion killed him. Man, obedience is better than sacrifice. We have one job when God tells us to do something, and that's just to do it. That's it. That's to do it. And that for real, I think it's best we don't even tell anyone. Don't even tell nobody. Don't even tell nobody the Lord told me. That way they can't use that against you to manipulate you. I really feel like he gave that man the ammunition to finesse him. This really pissed me off. And then when the man died, he gonna bury, take him back to Bethel, and then he gonna tell his sons, when I die, bury me my bones next to his bones. But you set this man up to die. You lied to him. People are wild. People wild, yeah. They wild. We aren't any different than the people who have lived before us that this Bible explains and translates to us. We're not any different than this prophet. We're not any different than Jeroboam. We have done things that have upset God. So nobody can sit up here and read the word or hear the word and think, I would never do that. You have already done it. I promise you. You've already done things that have set you back, that have made God have to reposition you because of your disobedience. But I just wanted to share this positive message with you guys today. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Every time we disobey God, we sacrifice something in the spirit, which affects us in the physical. Understand that. It's no way around it. What I do love, one out of the many things that I love about God is he's merciful towards us. I'm so glad. I feel like David in a sense where David didn't want God to give him over to his enemies, to his ops. David ain't want God to do that. He said, I want you to deal with me. When David messed up, he said, I want you to deal with me because you are merciful. That's how I feel. God will show you mercy when man will show you no mercy. I've been in a situation where it seemed like I wasn't getting no mercy out the deal. All I wanted was a little mercy, a little grace, and I just couldn't get it. So I'm speaking from experience on that. That's what I do love about the Lord. He's so merciful. Yeah. When God tell you to do something, he put it in your spirit. You better listen to him. Because if you do not listen to him, you're going to sacrifice something. It's going to be another thing on your list because you already got things where you like, dang, if I would have just listened to God, if I would have just paid attention to what God was showing me, looking at the warning, if I would have took heed to the warning that God gave me, I wouldn't have ended up here. We ain't got time to keep growing that list, y'all. When God tell you something, you listen to him. No matter who come after God, it don't matter. If God did not tell you, it ain't true. Everybody running around here saying God said something. They not telling you the truth. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Thanks for tuning in with your girl, Bossalini Need from Ambitious Hustlers Pod. Stay motivated. Keep the faith and read your Bible for yourself. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below because I want to, hear what you guys think about obedience being better than sacrifice. Thanks for tuning in at Ambitious Hustlers Pod. Let's get it.